First, there was the iPhone, then the iPhone 3G and 3GS, and of course the iPhone 4 and 4S. Now, finally, the iPhone 5 is here. You can buy one September 21st. This live coverage of the iPhone 5 is brought to you by the Nissan Innovation Garage. Welcome to the Revision 3 iPhone 5 live show. I'm Patrick Norton.
Like butter. And I'm Anthony Carboni, and we got a great lineup of tech experts today, including Mark Watson, Graham Hancock, Ty Moss, and Robert Heron. The iPhone 5 is here.
It's almost here.
It's almost here.
We know what it is.
Yes.
We're going to be able to buy it September 21st. You can probably pre-order it now.
Yeah.
Where should we even start? Should we start with the top 5 features of the new iPhone?
Yeah, let's run this thing
Lightning! No.
Ultra-fast wireless.
Yes.
Which Apple just created. They just invented it today. It's a brand new thing.
Because everybody knows that 4G at this point is a marketing spec, right?
Yeah.
So they came up with an even weirder marketing spec. Basically what they're saying is LTE, finally, bring on the 4G speeds to the iPhone. So iPhone is now going to be as fast as all the Android phones have been running 4G.
That's kind of awesome.
That's kind of really awesome.
Because usually they kind of stick behind. They're very conservative when it comes to cutting edge stuff in their mobile usually.
Well, we'll talk about one of the reasons why they probably did that in a second. But 4-inch display, right? Bigger screen,
This
finally.
is
nice. The resolution, well, Robert Heron's going to be talking about the resolution, what's going on there. Pretty cool. A6 processor.
Yes.
They're claiming like 1.5 to 2 point something better performance over the A5 processor. That's a big deal.
It is. If that is really what's going on, then yes. But
Yes.
we'll have to wait until we have one in our hands.
We actually get to touch one. I mentioned a second ago, one of the reasons maybe why they were trailing on introducing 4G was to be able to have the battery life they wanted. They're claiming 8 hours of battery life, 3G phone calls, 4G browsing, 10 hours of video playback time.
Yeah.
So they're saying they're going to do 4G without reducing battery life.
Also interesting.
You're like,
you know what?
Yeah.
I'm very grain of salt when it comes to mobile devices, but I'm excited to see what the improvements actually are in the real world.
At this
you know
point,
what I mean?
you're just excited the iPhone 5 rumors have stopped, and that the iPhone 5 truth versus their specs has started.
Exactly. We can all
boy.
stop predicting holographic displays.
So I think number 5 probably either iOS 6 or the fact that they've started doing cool things with iPods again. Nano with a 2.5-inch screen, home button, Bluetooth, which is going to be great for people who use it with cars that have Bluetooth integration, widescreen video, FM tuner, 7 colors, 5.4 millimeters thin, and I think you probably found this next part the best, the iPod Touch Loop.
So we're watching the live stream, and there's this secret button. There's this secret Chrome button on the back of the iPod Touch. Is it a camera button? What could it be? Is it a shutter? Is it something? Click, wristband. Oh, okay. But in 6 different colors.
7.
7?
7?
It's even better than I thought.
Yeah, so we were a little underwhelmed by the wristband, but
the iPod Touch itself as a device has come a long way, and we're going to get more into that. Forget the wristband. It's a cool thing.
Yeah. So the iPod Nano, the iPod Touch, 6.1 millimeters thin, same display as the iPhone 5, the A5 chip, which means it's going to have a major performance boost, a 5-megapixel camera, 40 hours of music life. Siri is now on the Touch, so the Touch is taking a big boost. You hate Siri more than I do.
No, I love Siri. I love Siri.
Say that with a straight face.
I can't.
I thought so. I think we're gonna give you a moment to compose yourself while you start to sort of gather your thoughts on theory. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring our first guest on. Joining us live from the internet, fresh from his adventures in Russia and Australia, Mark Watson, host of Soldier Knows Best here on Revision 3. Mark, are you a Siri fan?
You know, I like her some days. Some days I like her, some days I don't. I don't hate Siri.
Some days I need less sass from my phone.
Less sass
I
from
need a
your
little
phone?
less sass, and I needed to know what I'm actually talking about.
So I know you're going to buy one to review on Soldier Knows Best. Are you going to buy? Are you ready to upgrade to an iPhone 5 immediately?
Yes, I am. I think it's a solid upgrade overall. I think a lot of people aren't too impressed with it because we've seen this 6 months ago. We've seen this exact same phone. We already knew all the rumors, but I think it's an overall solid upgrade. It's going to be faster. The camera is relatively better. So yeah, I'll be making this my everyday phone.
How do you feel about the LTE? They're going to be running, I think, AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint out of the box.
I think that's cool. That's interesting because I think everybody kind of knew they were going to do Verizon, but since they are going to be doing Sprint and AT&T, they have all of them on board. Even though Verizon is still the clear leader for LTE. I think it's going to be good to give at least everybody all that option. And still keep the same battery life. It's just going to be good.
Yeah, that was the thing that really rocked me back. I didn't expect them to be able to do LTE and keep this parity battery performance with the 3G devices. How do you feel about the Lightning connector?
Real talk. Real talk, Mark.
Yeah, I don't know. They're getting into weather. They may create their own weather channel. Get Thunderbolt. Now we have Lightning. But I think it's good. I mean, of course, a lot of third-party accessory developers out there are going to be pissed because now they got to change their whole connectors and all that good stuff. Right. But I think if it's going to be providing faster performance, faster data transfer or whatever, I think it's going to be good.
Well, are the accessory makers going to be pissed or are they going to be happy? I feel like I feel like they get to go back and give us all new iWidgets to buy.
Well, I noticed. Did you notice that they didn't give you a price for the Lightning, the 30-pin dock connector adapter?
Right. Yeah. Let me actually change that. I think the consumers will probably be more pissed than the manufacturers because now they have to buy relatively maybe a $15 or $20 accessory to go ahead and go along with their device and the new third-party connector, which I can't blame Apple for doing it. It is smaller and sleek. It's going to be better performance, but I think they should probably go ahead and throw that in with the new iPhone. They can afford it.
I was curious, did they talk anything about performance or improvement in performance? And I'm asking in case I missed it, but the Lightning cable is smaller. That's nice. But are they actually going to improve backup speeds or sync speeds over the 30-pin dock connector?
That is true. I don't know whether they actually really talked about that. I'm just assuming it just by the name. But I'm not sure they actually really talked about it.
Is that like the same thing where AT&T put 4G on my 3G iPhone and it suddenly felt that much faster?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my goodness.
The cable has a racing stripe on it. That's how you know it's faster.
Yeah. That's how you know they have the expensive marketing. So Mark, what's coming up? What are you going to be doing for iPhone 5 coverage on Soldier Knows Best?
I'm getting ready to record my recap video of the entire event, talk about the new iPods, which I was probably more interested in new iPods and everything. And of course, all these new products coming out between now and next Friday, I'll be covering everything with it.
Are you going to be doing any damage testing, or are you going to keep it sort of are you going to break any, or are you going to keep it straightforward and just do performance testing at this point?
For now, but I think I may go ahead and start breaking one of them, maybe. I may break one in the future.
I like that you're going to be patient about that. Mark, awesome to talk to you. YouTube.com/Soldier Knows Best is where to find Mark. He has good coverage. You should be there after you watch this show. Go over to Soldier Knows Best. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, man.
Joining us now from App Judgement, Graham.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, sir?
Doing good.
Mr. Hancock, are you excited? You're young. You have a lot of disposable income. Have you ordered your iPhone 5 yet?
Not yet. I guess I have to wait till Saturday or Friday to do that.
Right.
Actually, I went into this with like a lot more tempered excitement than I usually have going into an iPhone thing. It's kind of like I've had Christmas morning kind of ruined for me, where all of the blogs and stuff, it seems like everything they announced today was stuff that leaked months ago, and it's like I was kind of hoping that Apple was pulling a fast one on the bloggers this time, and that we were going to get something that we haven't seen yet, and that didn't happen. So I'm kind of like I'm excited because it's a new shiny gadget for me to play with, but it's like I'm not quite as blown away as I've been in the past.
The iPhone 5 experience or the reveal has been ruined for you because the bloggers have done such a good job. Not
to blame them. I was happily reading all of that stuff and keeping up with all of the rumors and things like that. So, it's I'm part of the, to blame.
I can see the email now. Tim@apple.com from Graham Hancock at Revision 3. Please include secret features in iPhone 6 that won't be released by the bloggers.
Right.
That's kind of great. Well, okay, iOS 6 or the new screen size? Which one are you more excited about?
I am probably the most excited about the new screen size. I think that there's a lot of possibilities that can happen there, especially since I'm more of a video guy. I love the fact that we now have a proper 16:9 aspect ratio on the iPhone. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and how that relates to new ways apps are going to function. I think that is exciting as well.
So 4-inch display, 1136 by 640, which sounds peculiar until you realize they're basically, as Robert Heron's going to talk about, maintaining the Retina display while bringing 16:9. How about the camera? I mean, you basically live half your life with your face buried, behind a camera.
Yeah.
Do you think this is finally taking the steps it needs to replace a stand? And I should point out, the man is constantly slathering over it. You'll see him on a screen and be like, I could sell my car and a kidney, and I could have that camera, and it would be the best digital video camera for at least 9 months. I mean, are you ready to start? You're going to abandon your Canons and start recording on an iPhone?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the 4S was the biggest leap in quality that we've had. The iPhone 4 camera was amazing. The 4S was that much better.
Right.
This one looks like it's even better than the 4S. I haven't seen anything in person yet, just kind of following these live blogs. But seeing some of the specs, like the backlit, illumination,
right.
the faster lens element, that's all really exciting.
They're saying I think they were saying 2 stops faster than the iPhone 4S. That means, in theory, if they haven't shrunk, because they talked about shrinking the camera, but if they haven't shrunk the sensor too much, we should also have better low light performance, which would be a huge improvement.
So I think until we get people that get hands-on with it and show us some low-light pictures, I'm really excited to see that. I want to see if there's any noise in the low-light stuff. So that will be, the big factor if I'm going to stop using my DSLR or my point-and-shoot and only bring my iPhone with me. So
is that something does the mere concept of that kind of get you excited that you can stop carrying a pack full of gear and get it down to a single phone?
I just bought a new bag. The whole reason I bought the bag is because I could fit all my camera gear in it, and now I'm just like, well, I kind of jumped the gun on that. I could have just bought a smaller bag and had my phone do everything for me. So
that would be nice, and especially if the A6 performance is legit and they're sort of 2x faster CPU, 2x faster graphics. They're claiming a lot of the performance is actually going to be, I think 1.5 to 2 point something times as fast as the existing A5 processor. That means editing is going to suddenly seem much more plausible on the iPhone.
Right. Again, it's like the jump from 4 to 4S. You get that performance boost. I'm hoping that there's an even more noticeable performance increase between the 4S and the 5. And maybe, we've already got great apps like iMovie and Avid and things like that to do video editing in 1080p on a phone. That is just still, I can't believe that those words are coming out of my mouth. 1080p editing on a phone.
So now the gating factor is becoming the fact that you've only got like a 64 gigabyte phone and you need like a 128 or 512 gigabyte phone.
Well, now we got a Thunderbolt connector on the phone. Maybe we can do some external hard drives and RAID devices and stuff like that.
No, that's the Lightning connector.
Oh, the Lightning connector.
So close, so close. So, App Judgment, doing coverage on Friday, Saturday.
Absolutely.
Have you reviewed, it's something we didn't talk too much about, iOS 6, obviously the new resolution, new screen size, Windows on older screens, Facebook integration into everything. How are you feeling about the YouTube and Google Maps being pulled out of iOS?
I think that that move was for the best because it was sort of like Apple managing a third-party app and managing the experience of a third-party app on its platform. So now the primary owners of that stuff, they get to make that app now. So Google is actually making probably a Google Maps app, and they'll put that out. They'll be able to manage that experience better than when they had to go through Apple to do it. And then the YouTube app that came out just yesterday is great. It's a really great experience. So I'm kind of glad that Apple is focusing more on its own things and letting third-party developers do that experience and managing it really well. The new maps on iOS 6, I have played with them, and I have some friends that have been using the iOS 6 beta, and there's been some mixed feelings there. Like, I'm going to really miss transit times and things like that, because I use that a lot in Google Maps.
It took several years for Google Maps to get up to speed. YouTube.com/AppJudgment is the place for the full App Judgment coverage experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Graham Hancock. Now, we're going to be back with some more tech experts, Ty Moss, Robert Heron, but first, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor. Some of the world's best ideas happen in garages. Music, computers, electric cars, the list could go on for quite a while. Well, Nissan has created their own virtual garage to help bring your ideas to life. It's called Nissan's Innovation Garage, and submitting your idea is easy at nissaninnovationgarage.com. Your idea doesn't have to be limited to cars. You're only limited by your imagination. And of course, all I can think of right now is widescreen iPhone apps. Get your own iOS idea up and running. And once you've submitted your idea, Nissan panels of engineers will choose 2 grand prize winners to get a $50,000 grant to fund their idea, as well as a new 2013 Nissan Altima. Wouldn't it be cool if your little idea made it big? The deadline for ideas is October 12th, 2012, so get it on right now. Check out all the details at nissaninnovationgarage.com. Joining us now, Ty from Ty's iPhone Help.
What's up?
Dude, you excited?
Yes, I'm excited. They announced a ton of stuff.
What's your favorite feature? And it's cool to hear you say that because so many people right now are blogging like, yeah, it's not a big deal.
I was expecting that for people to, like, every Apple event, they're always like, oh, they didn't announce anything. It's not innovation. It's crap. But they announced a ton of stuff. A new iPod Touch, a new iPod Nano, iPhone 5. I mean, the iPhone 5 was everything we were expecting, but it's still good. Like, it does get it up on par with a lot of the Android phones out now.
So are you and I the only people left that actually use iPods and iPhones?
I don't really use my iPod. I have a ton of them, but sometimes I do it when I don't want to have to worry about cracking my phone while I'm skating with my iPod in my pocket, or my iPhone in my pocket.
If somebody cracks into my trunk, if they steal my iPhone, or I'm pissed. If they steal my iPod, I'm not so pissed. What's your favorite feature? What's the biggest thing? What's the most important thing to you about the new iPhone 5?
Probably 4G LTE and the bigger screen. I guess both of those.
They're both pretty important.
What?
They're both pretty important.
Yeah, I'm really excited for 4G LTE. That's the thing that I've been waiting for the new iPhone. I don't really care about the bigger screen. I'm happy with the screen size we have now. I'm just excited for the faster data speeds.
Is it purely so you can upload things faster, or because you want to download movies faster and update your apps faster? What's the biggest thing you're going to get out of 4G speed on the iPhone 5?
Faster uploading of videos, like, because I upload a lot of videos from my phone, as well as just watching YouTube videos, stuff like that from my phone, like just streaming faster.
I mean, how are you feeling now? Do you feel that Apple's pretty much in parity with all the Android hardware that's out there? Have they sort of, punched back at the Samsung phones?
I think this gets them up there. Like, increasing the speed, I think they said 40% faster than the iPhone 4S. That is extremely fast, because the iPhone 4S is already super fast. Like, that's pretty impressive with the new A6 chip.
Are you going to be doing testing on that when you do your iPhone 5 coverage?
Yeah, I'm going to be comparing it to the 4S and stuff like that, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome if it is 40% faster.
Yeah, that's what I think we're all thinking that, like, if it's really that fast, it's going to be epic. Please let it be that fast. When's the first iPhone 5 video going to come up on Ty'sIPhoneHelp.com?
I'm going to do a video right after this. I got to recap the Apple event, talk about all the new stuff they announced, and then once the iPhones and all the iPods come out after I spend all that money on it, I'm going to do videos comparing all of them to the older generations, talking about all the new stuff in them, and pretty much just talking about everything that they announced.
And testing it. On it. So you're basically going to be on pre-ordering your phone Friday morning ASAP?
Yes.
Ty, good to talk with you, man. Ty'sIPhoneHelp.com is the website. Ladies and gentlemen, Ty Moss, thank you for your time, sir. Robert Heron, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host on Tekzilla and HD Nation.
Always.
You were excited about the new 4-inch display, 1136 by 640. Why such a weird resolution?
One, to get a true 16:9 format. The previous screen on the previous iPhones actually was closer to about 1.5 to 1 as far as the shape of the screen goes, the aspect ratio. Having that 16:9 screen means that we're no longer dealing with letterboxes, either if you're recording video, shooting it on the new 720p cam, or if you're watching HD video on the screen itself. You're not going to have to deal with either stretching it to fill the whole screen and losing the sides of information, or dealing with letterboxes like we've been dealing with all this time. So that's cool. But probably one of the other things too that relates to the display itself is the technology that goes into making that screen brighter and thinner, and how they've reduced the size of it, as Apple seems to be so good at.
Apparently the touch sensor is essentially built into the LCD right now. That's a big deal.
That really is. And then also a few months ago, basically about a year ago, they were talking about Sharp was probably going to be the manufacturer to go ahead with the new LCD technology that goes into this gen phone, as well as what will likely be in the next iPad as well. So the two things: one, that being able to take that thin film transistor, integrate that directly into the glass itself, thins the display, makes it more responsive, and it allows more light to go through. So you're getting benefits of brighter and more color saturation too.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it. The 44% more color saturation, now fully sRGB, now the most accurate display in the industry.
Nice. That means basically for the colors that the human eye can see, this display will put out more of them. Being able to produce more true-to-life imagery. If you are capturing it on a device originally that can actually display that advanced color saturation. Keep in mind that every movie you've ever watched on DVD or Blu-ray doesn't support that expanded color.
Right.
So you're going to do a little fudging in terms of displaying those kind of videos on that display. But having a display that exceeds the capabilities of the video, that's golden.
And that's something for the A6 processor to do with all its clock cycles.
Exactly.
So you've been on the fence. You've been waiting for the iPhone 5 announcement to get your next phone.
Yeah.
For, your contract's up. You've been looking at the Samsung, the S3. You've been waiting for the iPhone. Are you going to pull the trigger?
Or LCD? Yeah, I am actually. I'm going to go with this for a few reasons. One, as far as home theater goes, there's the audio side of everything too. And the wideband audio is something I have been wanting in phones for a long time. If you've ever used going from simply edge phones to 3G phones, that audio quality improvement, if you were able to really pay attention to the phone you're using, was dramatic. And having it take another step up to have basically to have the same audio quality I had 30 plus years ago with a landline, I'm now going to have on my cell phone, that to me is just as important as the video quality that I'm seeing with improved resolution, not necessarily a wider resolution format. Same pixel per inch, though, as far as the display goes. But better audio, better video, more microphones, things like that are really the usability part. Making it a phone and a usable phone.
That works well as a phone?
It should. Totally.
AT&T, Verizon, or Sprint?
Neither, actually. I'm going to buy it outright and go with a third party.
Really?
Save a bunch of money doing that, folks. Consider your options. Last time around, I basically did the contract, proceeded to destroy the first phone in the ocean, proceeded to then buy one outright and then deal with all that. But this time around, I've read a bunch of the articles that relate to contracts over 2 years, what you end up spending over that 2-year period, and it's something to consider. It's just simply buying that piece of hardware outright, spending that extra money up front, and you might end up saving that cost over the life of that 2-year contract.
Are you going to be dumping a whole lot of accessories or buying a whole bunch of adapters for the new Lightning port?
No. If it's true on the Lightning port that you can actually use it in either orientation, up or down, okay, there's one advantage I would see over a micro USB port. But
well, you were upset because you want a micro USB port, not a new proprietary port.
Totally, as the world should just go, because it'd be nice to not have yet another unique dongle that I have to deal with all the connectors and stuff that we're all dealing with in our daily lives. So yeah, that's too bad, but that isn't going to prevent me from owning probably the coolest piece of hardware, mobile hardware, that there is coming this year.
Mr. Robert Heron, keeping it real as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Sasha Sagan's going to be joining us on Tekzilla to talk about the iPhone 5 tomorrow versus some of the new Android devices that are out there. And of course, taking a look at, Robert and I, and then Veronica next week will be talking about what we think about the iPhone 5. Now, we should take a moment to tell you, Revision 3 has a whole bunch of people covering the iPhone 5 this week. GeekBeat and Hack 5 will have their recap shortly at 2 p.m. Techno Buffalo and Unbox Therapy will have additional coverage today at 5 p.m. Pacific. Like I mentioned, Tekzilla tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We're going to have our iPhone 5 coverage with Sasha Sagan. And Destructoid's getting in on the action tonight at 7 p.m. I think they may be talking about the gaming scene.
It's a good bet. It's a good bet.
Clumsy Ninja.
Clumsy Ninja. It's going to revolutionize our lives.
I don't know if I'm buying into that. Well, how did you feel? I mean, you're a gaming enthusiast, Mr. Carboni.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can throw a higher resolution screen and more processing power and a better graphics chip at games, you're going to get exciting things. So we're going to see a leap in this. Of course, first, we're going to see a lot of people scrambling to correct their video output for the new resolution. But once that happens, I think new stuff that comes out is just going to look awesome.
What are you thinking about upgrading at this point, or are you over it?
So, I mean, I crunched my phone. This is a common story. I totally crunched my phone. I dropped it while I was running, and now it's all cracked. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait and see. And if it's worth the upgrade, I should upgrade it because my phone is cracked. And I think it is. It's a solid upgrade. Like Ty said, it's good hardware. It's a good upgrade. I think we're just so used to hearing magical, wondrous things. Right. But you can't do that every year. Sometimes you just need a solid hardware upgrade.
Just a solid hardware upgrade.
Just a solid hardware upgrade. That's what you need, man. So I'll probably do it.
then there you have it. Basically, if the camera's that much better, because we should point out, Anthony's the only person who's ever spent $300 for an iPhone camera accessory.
Yeah.
And you actually use your sophisticated lens adapter with your iPhone.
Oh, constantly, all the time.
That's kind of frightening.
As a doorstop. No, I do. I get really into iPhone photography, and the low light performance that they're promising, the noise cancellation in the hardware, that's good. That's a good thing for pictures if it works. Once again, everything is, once we get it in our hands, we'll see. But it could be a very exciting upgrade.
Ladies and gentlemen, September 21st, we will find out if the iPhone 5 works. Rev3, YouTube.com/Rev3Games, YouTube.com/Destructoid, Tekzilla.com. We could go on forever, but we should probably say thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See, check out all of the millions of channels.
Revision3.com wants to thank you for joining in on our live show. I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Anthony Carboni.
We'll see you for the next iPhone announcement, I bet. Have a good one.
Like 6 months.